Hello, thank you for joining me for another shave. Today is Wednesday, and I'm going to do Williams Wednesday, and I'm going to do it with the enders. Now, I said I was going to do this in two parts with this, but I'm not. I'm just going to tell you guys where you can go and do this conversion with a factory blade. And just quickly, I'll go over some things about the enders. The enders is a vintage razor. It's single edge. It used a proprietary blade. I have some here. They're out of Connecticut. The enders goes back quite a ways. I think there's something with the Christie razor with that. I haven't done the research with it, but this one is what, post World War II. And then towards the end of the production, they had some with a metal in the center. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I've had one for a while. I have not been able to shave with it because I haven't been able to get a hold of some of these vintage blades to make a carrier for. And there's all different kinds of hacks for this razor. Subi Shave's got one. What I'm going to link to you first is Jim Roe, JR. He's got an awesome video on making a blade carrier for this so you can use an injector blade, and that's what I did. And I ended up using JB Weld. And yeah, I'll link his video. I'll link some posts on Badger and Blade. I'm going to show you right now what these vintage blades look like. You can see they've got some wings on them, and you need to use, you have to use those a blade, this carrier with the wings to load it. Like I said in my my other video, there was a gentleman that was making an adapter for this that had magnets, and it was made out of brass and hasn't been sold for some while, so you're kind of limited to what you can do with these razors. I'm just putting the blades back in, but no, you need to get a hold of some vintage blades. I'm going to hold on to them, and then, if somebody does get into one of these and they want a vintage blade, I'd be more than happy to send you one through the mail. It's not going to cost me a whole lot. I don't have many here. I think I got like 8 left, and some of them are rusty. These are carbon steel blades, by the way, the Enders blades, and you can see I have an injector blade already loaded in it, and I've got a vintage injector blade. I got a Schick Super stainless. And for Williams today, I'm going to use the newer Williams. I've got 2 cakes of these left. This is the thin cake that's left, so I'm going to use it. I got this stuff locally at a pharmacy. So, brush today, I'm using a synthetic. I'm using my Eveready favorite brush. So, and then when I use Williams, I either use Aqua Velva Classic Ice Blue or the Musk. The Musk is kind of strong, so. But I will show you here what this carrier looks like. Let me get the injector blade. It's kind of funky to, to load up. I'll just show you real quick what it looks like. And you can see the JB Weld. You can see the holes. And I did grind off the bevel with the original blade. And all you do is you line your injector blade up on that plate once you get it, sorted and cured and all that. So it looks... let me see if I can get my fingers out of the way. So it looks like that. And, yeah, you load it in. Can be kind of tricky to load in. Yeah, see, it came off of the, I'm trying to do it so you guys can see it. But, let me see if I can, yeah, there we go. Oh, no, it slipped. It can be a pain to get loaded on. There we go. You have to make sure everything's seated and clicked, and that's what it looks like when it's loaded up. Now, you can take one of them blades, take the bevel off, and you can manually do D blades and all kinds of stuff like that with them, and that's why I'm going to link Subi Shave stuff. I tried it with one blade with the Bear Carrier, and it had a lot of blade chatter in it. So, but I guess I was doing it wrong. GAW there on... Toast 3, he's got a video with this, and then he's got stuff on Badger and Blade 2, and so does Ron R. All right, you can see my cake's kind of low here. I'm just going to put some water on the face. Sorry this is dragging on, but this is a complicated kind of razor to set up. And yeah. So how you guys been? I have been good. Since I last talked to you guys, I have not checked out any stores or anything. In fact, I'm going to be putting up the state of the collection video here probably by the end of the week sometime. I'm going to show you guys what I'm getting rid of, what I'm giving away. Some things are just not worth selling. It's easier just to give them away and go to somebody that'll enjoy them. So I will be giving some stuff away. All right. Get some water here in the brush, and let's make a lather. Now I do prefer the vintage. Well, this is all vintage now, but this is the newer stuff. I prefer the vintage stuff. It with the tallow base, it lathers like nobody's business. I mean, this, you can see it's building the lather pretty good. These enders are kind of like the auto strops, especially the later ones where you got to modify them. Enders not so much, but it's just a pain with the blade. Finding one, and there is, you know, you got to take care of this carbon steel blade afterwards. You just can't load the injector blade in and then, you know, leave it, because it will rust. And that would stink going through all the effort to make that adapter and then it rusting out on you. But it does shave very well. It does. I was kind of surprised. I was like, wow. Alright, get the soap off my hands. The Enders has good knurling on it, on the sides. And you can get these in different colors, and there's a rare one that's red that has a stamped head on it. You can see, it's all loaded up. It's kind of open comb. Let me give this a try. I've only done one shave with this blade. Let's see if it's still, oh yeah, it's good. Here's the, let me see, yeah, there's the shave angle. You just go in, you know, till you feel it. I set the blade exposure on this to the factory blade. Some people move that in and out when they do their adapter. Me, I just left it at factory. Oh, that is a smooth shave. And I don't know if these are coated, these Schick Super Stainless. I like the Personas, the vintage ones. All I have right now is vintage blades, and in fact I have some. I'm gonna order some Persona, some modern ones. But you can normally get these Enders very inexpensive off of eBay. This one, you know, at the factory exposure, I put it at a 5 or a 6, you know. It's not hyper aggressive, which is a good, you know, that's what they were looking for with these, is, you know, middle of the road. But it shaves very well. Got the Williams a little too thick, but it rinses right out. You know, you see all these modern AC razors that load in from the back. I think this was kind of like the first. I mean, the Schicks, they load in from the side. The Campy Brothers, you know, all the lather catchers, they load from the back. But, you know, this thing looks modern. It's kind of like you can stick it, you know, like an AC blade in it. You know, it looks like that. And that's what always drawed me to this. I like this handle. In fact, there is a 3D printed, the N gem. There's a 3D printed design with that, with Roger Quinto there. I have been starting to look at the 3D printers. I haven't decided on a model yet. I got to do my research, and, you know, when I was in middle school, you know, I'm pushing 40. You know, there was my middle school shop class. We did some CNC stuff, but yeah, I really want to get into the 3D printing, and especially the razors. I'm going to thin this out a little bit. I've had to take a break from the exercise a little bit. I got a reaction going with my cholesterol medicine, so I will be doing some trail videos. I'm just going to use the channel email YouTube. You know, I'm going to make that the, you know, the second channel. That's what I decided with that. Anything that's not razor related, I'll put that on there. And if you're interested, you know, awesome. If you're not and you're the shaving, that's fine too. Alright, side grain. Periodically, you want to check, make sure nothing's moved, which in this case it hasn't. Some, you know, it clicks. This one kind of does, because I think I got the JB Weld a little bit built up too much. But I was just so excited I got this to work and shave. You know, you got to be careful, be diligent, and, you know, I say do it at your own cognizance kind of thing and your own risk. And, you know, like I said, don't. It's not an easy thing. And you got to make sure everything's lined up. And if it's not, you know, start over again. Because if you got an exposure a little messed up, I use double-sided tape to hold everything lined up. And, you know, the holes in the injector, I made sure the double-sided tape. And I made sure on, you know, flat, I used some metal surfaces and measured everything. And I made sure everything was nice and lined up before I, you know, when I JB welded everything. I wish, I think, what's his name? Is it Lash Shadow? I'm not sure. He was the one that was making the adapters. I wish someone would make the adapters. River Run, who's very big, he's got his own site with the Camphy stuff. He tried coming up with an adapter for these, and that was 3D printed, and it just didn't work. I'll link all of it. It's going to be long links down below. I'll put the tools of the shave. But do your research. You know, figure out if it's something you want to do. If you're like me and you like the journey along with the project, you know, this is the kind of thing for you and getting it to work. And it is very rewarding to do a shave with this. Around the mouth area here. It's nice. It's not as tight as an injector razor, but it's darn near, you know, it's better than a gem. Yeah, I like the vintage, the older Williams more. It seems to wash out of the razor a little bit better, and the residual slickness. But this was at the end of the product. I don't think we're ever going to see Williams mug soap again, to be honest with you, unless someone does a clone of it. But at that point, what's the point? It was a budget soap. You could go into any store and any grocery you know, and get it. My grandfathers both used it. My uncle remembers it. It's a shame, an American brand gone. But it is what it is. Even with the Williams, you can see the knurl in there. It's pretty good. It's kind of tricky. Let me get the soap off of my hands here. The one Jim JR did with one of his, with the he put a wood handle on one of these. Kind of, it's really nice. He is quite the craftsman when it comes to woodworking. He does brushes. He does razor cases. Well, I think I got myself. Trying to get VBS around here, and I got myself in the corner of the mouth. All right. I'm going to call that good. That is one smooth shave. Right here, I got like a teeny bit of stubble. Up here, I'm clean. Down here, yeah. I'm gonna call that. That's good enough. That's as BBS as I'm gonna get it. I dropped my washcloth here. They set their enders off to the side. Rinse off and take care of any cuts I got. Yeah, I didn't want to bore you guys with a 20-something long video because I'm going to have one with the state of the collection, so, you know, a half an hour video kind of thing. All right. Septic. This is Clubman brand. I think that's it. I got one there and one on the chin. Wash the septic off, or you'll have a white spot on your face. All right, Aqua Velva, classic ice blue. They don't sell it in this big one anymore. I think it's 7 ounces now, or no, it's 4, 5, something like that. I forget how many ounces it is. It's got a big restrictor though. I'm gonna do about 5, 6 drops. No big burn. Awesome shave with the enders. Let me get the cap back on this before it dumps out on the floor. A lot of menthol and the ice blue. How do you take care of this? Well, I'm going to rinse it out. And then I'm going to carefully pull the blade out because you can see the injector blade's only held on when the tension of it in the razor. I'm going to dump that, and I'll show you what I do with Yeah, there we go. There's gunk on the blade. And it gets gunk on there. Just wash this off real good with hot water and then wipe it off good. I took rubbing alcohol and dipped it in it 100% to, to dry it out. You may want to be careful with what JB Weld you use or, just clean this up good like you're doing carbon steel with a gem blade. Make sure it's dry. And this will last you a long time. Don't abuse it putting it in the, in the razor, because there's two different blades with this. This one's got the, this kind of writing on it, and they come in these. There's earlier ones, and the ends tend to snap on them, these ends here. So no. So I'll link Jim Roe JR. I'll link Badger and Blade stuff. I'll even link Fuzzy Shaves, his shave with it. I'll link GAW. Yeah, I'll link all the, and Subi Shaves. I'll link it all, and you make up your mind with it. So that's the Enders. I'm happy I got a shave, finally to shave with it. It's an awesome razor. If you're, into DIY, this is the thing for you. So that's that. Have a state of the collection video up. Comments and questions down below with this. Till I see you next out there, hope all is well. Take care out there, and happy shaves.